Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with section 6.4, notice that we have another rational equation that we're solving. Pay attention to both parts of the directions. Solve and check. Now, the best way to begin this problem is to start by stating restricted values. RVs, okay? A restricted value. In this case, let's look in this denominator. What would mess up this denominator? And by messing it up, I mean, what would make this denominator become 0? What would you have to put in for the variable? Well, if I put in a 0 for y, 11 times 0 would become 0. That's not acceptable. So y cannot equal 0. And also the same thing pertains here. If I put in a 0 for y in this denominator, the whole denominator would become 0. Not acceptable. So my restricted value is y cannot equal 0. At the end of this problem, you cannot allow that answer. Now, my LCD here is 11y, and I'm going to multiply through by it 3 times. Bam, bam, and bam, because I want to clear fractions. I don't want to deal with fractions in an equation. These 11y's are gone, leaving me with 6. This y cancels with this y. 11 times 9 is 99. 1 times 11y is 11y. When I collect like terms here, I have 105 is equal to 11y, and I finish dividing by 11. Now, my answer is 105 over 11, and the reason I accept that answer is because it is not my restricted value, and I know I did my work correctly. So the solution set to this problem is the set with the number 105 over 11 in it. Now, I would always check to see if something is in lowest terms, but it's pretty easy to see that 105 over 11 is prime. It doesn't go neatly into 105, so there's not a lot of thinking there. But if the numbers were larger, always ask yourself at the end of the problem, am I giving the answer in lowest terms? Okay? So let me take you through the steps again. State the restricted values first, multiply through by the LCD, and then solve, and at the end of the problem, check that your answer is not a restricted value. If it is, cross it out. And if it was the only answer, then your answer to that problem would be no solution, because the only number that could have worked had failed.